So we're looking at stuff that's called what I call cheap old man compliant. That means
Oh, that's a
compliant, not complaint. Complaint, yeah, complaint.
good start.
What can I say? My proofreader wasn't working.
It was spelled right.
Thank you. All right. Anyways, so this, we also have seen these. These are the AA50. This is an AA55 zoom. This is a SWR meter, and it's also a nano VNA. Pretty nice looking device. Well, the other device that I have here is also a nano VNA, but it's 1/6 the cost, and it does the same thing. It's not as intuitive. You have to know a little bit more about programming it, but it works, and it works well. So that's what we're going to use tonight to test a bandpass filter. The next thing we're going to look at is the Tiny SA, which is, oh boy, you're all here tonight. We're going to abuse your handhelds. We're going to take the Tiny SA, which is a small spectrum analyzer. This particular one is $140. You can get the regular Tiny SA for $50, $60. Compared to a large spectrum analyzer, which is the cost of a car. So I think spectrum analyzer, new car. They can be very expensive. But for what we're doing, especially for today and mostly in ham radio, the $140 piece of gear is good enough. So the Tiny SA spectrum analyzer, what is it? Well, it measures the frequency content of your RF signals from its port. It's good for testing things like harmonics, harmonic suppression of your radio, spectral purity, intermodulation. And it's certainly a nice addition to your shack. You can also hook a little tiny antenna up to it and walk around the house and find that wall wart that's spewing out into all sorts of stuff. Now, the nano VNA, as you can see here, that looks clear as mud, doesn't it? Its primary function is to measure antenna systems. It measures the antenna, the cable. It looks for such things as SWR, how much power is being reflected back. Cable loss, how much power are you losing going from your radio to your antenna? You can measure that as well. You can measure impedance of the cable. You can also measure the length of the cable. If you know a few factors, you can plug it in and it'll tell you how long your cable is. So if you know you have a 100-foot piece of cable and you put your nano VNA on it and it's showing up at 40 feet, you got a problem somewhere, right? If you've got extra little adapters in the middle, like you're plugging two PL259s together with a SO239 connector, you're plugging them together, you'll see that impedance bump on the plot on a nano VNA. And you can check your connections. Sometimes those connections go bad, you'll see that. So every shack should have both. You should have a nano VNA and you should have a Tiny SA. So you can test your antennas. Let's say you want to make a filter. Like you want to make a bandpass filter. You want to make a choke, a one-to-one choke for common mode. You can test those with the nano VNA. We're not going over that today per se. That's a whole talk in and of itself. So there you go. And you can test again coax cable. The Tiny SA, you can test your transmitter. The output, how clean is it? Harmonics, how dirty is it? Right. And you can also look at modulation on it. Today we're going to take a look at harmonics. You can use the Tiny SA to test your receiver sensitivity. The Tiny SA itself only goes down to about minus 90 dB. And let me see if I remember right. Minus 90 dB is roughly an S7 on your on your meter. So what we do is we put an attenuator on there. In this case, today we're going to be using a 40 dB attenuator. And you would add that to the minus 90, right? So minus 40, minus 90, you can go down to minus 130 dB, which is roughly a little bit less than an S1. So you can see how well your receiver is working. You can test that as well. On the flip side of that, you can put in at minus 73 dB signal and check the calibration of your S meter. See if it's reading close to S9. It's something, maybe it's more, maybe it's less. You ever wonder why someone says they're hearing you, or they're saying S9 and the guy's right next to you? I'm like, this guy's coming in at S3, S4. Maybe your S meter's off, and they are off a lot of times. So you can use it to align that. And again, you can hunt for RFI, which is always a lot of fun. So the Nano VNA, I have a test set up here. This is my 15 meter bandpass filter. And you can see the sharp skirts at either end. It's fairly sharp. If you look at it, the 2 points on either side, there's only one, it's supposed to be the 3 dB down point. This is the, excuse me. So that's 21 megahertz, this is 15 meters. At 18 meters, in a 17 meter band, we're down here, we're down about minus 15 dB. And if we come all the way down, that's really hard to read, isn't it? The 20 meter band, right down here, we're over 35 dB down. That's pretty good attenuation. And we use these a lot on field day. People make their own too. Sometimes the one you buy don't work like you think they should. This is a way you can test it. All right, so now we're going to get to testing the handheld. So I'm going to switch over to my camera on the desk here. And we'll take a look at the Baofeng. This is an older unit. Now, by mistake, I grabbed my tri-band Baofeng. And the reason the tri-band Baofengs are so wonderful is because they don't have any filters in them.
Wasn't really.
So how they get you to talk on 220, guess what? It's a harmonic.
On 220.
So they don't have a 220. All right, so I have my radio. Can you see that fairly well? Good. All right. So I have my radio keyed up on 146.520. Now, because of the way the Tiny SA works, it takes a little while for it to come in and settle down. And you gotta hold it. So from the radio, I'm going to a 40 dB attenuator. And from there, I have the manual attenuation set on the Tiny SA of 20 dB. So if we look at this, the 146.520 is about 35 dB, adjusting for the attenuators. Yeah, it's really hard to see. It's all blown out. This one right here is the fundamental frequency. It's reading 35 dB. So if we look at what 35 dB is in actual watts, 35 dB is about 4 or 5 watts. 40 dB is 10 watts. So we're not there. This right here is the second harmonic. And as you can see, it's way up here. According to my screen, what I'm showing as the second harmonic, I'm showing it 16 dB down from the first, making it 20 dB. 20 dB is 1/10 of a watt. That's how much we're putting out. The third harmonic, well, we finally meet FCC regulations on that one. The third harmonic is minus 48 dB down. Does that make it neat? Because it's 40 dB below the fundamental?
Yes.
It does. But it's still minus 10 dB down. Ideally, it should be minus 16.02 dB down to be considered legal. So this radio doesn't make it.
Question.
Yes.
And to tie that in, then with that second harmonic, would that be considered a spurious emission?
That is a spurious emission.
So what I'm hearing is it just can broadcast on multiple bands at once, which sounds like a benefit. All right, my next radio is an older Yaesu. If I can get this untied from here. There it goes. It's a Yaesu FT27D. So we're gonna say 90s probably. 2000, early 2000, I think, is when this radio was really popular or being produced. Let's get this bad boy. That moment to settle down. And I'm just doing like I said, a brief overview. If you really want to dive into it deeper, there's Stu's wonderful videos as well. We're just kind of looking at what we can do with some of the inexpensive test equipment.
Ed,
Yes.
you mentioned also that the nano DNA can connect directly to a computer and run software, and so.
It can direct, yes.
It's kind of small.
The nano VNA software, nano VNA Saver works really well. The tiny SA software, not so much. What ends up happening is if I want to control it from the computer, the screen doesn't work. Okay. All right, so you can see here, this is the Yaesu radio. It is a dual band radio. And what don't you see there?
Spurs.
You don't see the spurs. The radio is, well, it's at 26 dB. So that's roughly what? 3 watts, 4 watts putting out. So there you go. That radio is clean. All right, who wants to have their radio tested? Yes, you have a question.
Oh, you guess my radio. Question was it, when you press the PTT, does it measure it instantaneously and then you let go?
No, I'm holding the PTT, this radio, whether, not the radio, the tiny SA is slow and it does many, many sweeps. It just 101 points or however many you have set up for, and it reads it, comes back and does another read. And it keeps reading and reading and reading until it settles down. So it's not as fast as some of the other ones, but it's much slower. All right, okay, here we go.
Can you control the speed?
Excuse me?
Can you control the speed?
Yes, you can control the speed. All right, this is a Yaesu FT5.
Gonna have spurs all over the
The
place.
pressure's on now.
Yeah.
I didn't make it.
No, and today's grand prize is the new
Baofeng AR5RM. It has weather. It'll receive AM. Well, for your aircraft. You can program it for, listen to police scanner frequencies out here. It is a tri-bander. So you know what that means. And it is fully programmed with all the ACS frequencies in it, both 2 meters, 220 and 440. All right, so 146. Okay, that's close enough. Let's key it up. Actually, that's on that's on 432. But that looks clean.
Just say it has no first.
Let's go back over.
No.
Yeah, it's only the same.
Here we go. 146,205. What's on 146,205? Oh, there's a little square knife. Oh, it went away. You're good. So this radio is putting out, it's at 32 dBm. And you're on low power. Let's hope. So this radio is good. Anyone else want to have their radio tested? There you go. Very good. All right, thank you. Smile.
With a numerical order.
It's all good.
I'd be interested if anyone here has a GT5R2, so.
The GMRS one.
No, the extra harmonics.
Next harmonics one.
The GT5R. Radiotic.
All right, so this is a Yaesu FT4X.
You want to give it an over under?
This is probably gonna be pretty clean.
You let it over what?
I think it should be that.
Or whatever there was. I didn't have one of, I don't have one of those.
That's 35 dBm, so that's putting out about 4 or 5 watts.
That's what I
And it's clean as a whistle.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. The regular one was.
All right, who do we got here next? I do. Now I gotta get my adapters out. See, you have the adapter kit, which by the way, we're also giving away for surprises tonight. BNC. SMA adapter.
It's a proper radio, but it's.
It's a proper home radio.
Properly. Are we gonna see the new generation of that thing?
Well, I just put that on here instead of bringing it along. I've never used it. It came with the video.
Was that wrong for you? Because you can test another radio while running it.
Yeah, I'm looking for a BNC to SMA.
One male or female SMA?
It's a,
What's your data?
well, the cable will, I can adapt either way, but I need to SMA. A BNC to SMA. You have a BNC to SMA?
Like, this is the.
That'll work.
Male.
Thank you.
But it's got the adapter.
Yeah, I have the adapter kit, but it doesn't have.
Just a few more. That's right, you better have some spurs for all the trouble anyway.
What is the radio?
The radio is the Kenwood
Oh, it's gonna be fine.
TH, what's it, 74? There it goes. That's looking clean. Good.
I think it was looking up some hard side.
All right. Who had the Kenwood ones? Singers. Very nice. What's that? It was.
Even you might need it for the other one.
That might need it. All right, let's go ahead and run right down the list here. The Yaesu another Yaesu FT5D.
Oh, sure. Be the same.
Yeah.
Better be the same.
It's triggered this. I sure hope it's on record.
Go. Nice and clean. All right, who had the Yaesu FT5D? I'll get you your adapter back.
Yeah, I have one more.
All right, oh, an any tone.
Okay, now we'll get maybe some there.
The any tones are supposedly.
Yeah.
The any tone, what do you think?
It'll be clean.
Any tones are good.
You hear about a one channel. Instead of 7 watts, I don't know if I do those.
34 dBm. All right, next up. Can't hear me?
No.
You can't,
So there was no harm.
can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Right.
All
It
right.
was.
All right, next radio up is the Yaesu FT4X. And here we go, it's off and running.
FT65 is worse.
Seventy seem like shapes.
It should. All right, let's see,
I mean, the 70 is. Well, I mean, the 70 is 30, 40.
The 75 just has.
75.
Most
Right about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I should.
This is like you march about it. But originally.
Yeah, you see that, don't you? Well, I should have brought something to help hold that steady. All right.
China. Oh, wow.
All right, here we go. We've got a Baofeng UV 82.
Yeah, there we go. Right. It's gonna look like a
All
buzz
right,
saw.
here we go. Top up. Oh, there we go. We got a sneaker in there. Throw, baby, throw.
Actually, this is not that bad. No. As of right now, you are minus 44 dB below your fundamental. Which doesn't be a pass. And you're about 10 dB, minus 10 dB on the second. Not quite, but it's not bad. Good radio. All right, I got these radios here.
Yes.
All right, we've got a TYT.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a TYT radio, and it is. Let's get it on a different. Is this your radio? No, it's. Yeah, the high quality. Oh, there we go. Uh-oh. This is the, I don't know which model TYT this is.
Goldie analyzed it down a little bit.
Okay. This radio is a pass. The second harmonic is minus 61 dB down. So is the third. They're both the same. Very good. That radio is a pass.
Yeah.
We do. All right, this is another any tone. Right. Here we go. This is the any tone. And the any tone looks clean. That looks very good. And it's reaching 35, 36 dB. So that's putting out a nice solid 5 watts. A little bit more.
I've got one more.
Oh, an FT65.
This is the one you were just.
Yeah, but it's.
Oh.
No, it's not.
It's going.
Oh. All right, this is a Baofeng F8 HP.
You're gonna try to pick on these.
Oh, hang on, we gotta get the tiny essay. Settle down.
No, this is.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually not looking too bad. Fundamental is at 36 dB. The second harmonic is 48 dB down. So there you go. This radio passes. No, this is the Yaesu.
You let me straight.
I thought it was.
No, I got that one next.
Okay.
This is the Baofeng
Okay.
F8 HP.
I was wrong. Forgive me.
All right, last one up is the Yaesu FT65.
This one is.
All right, here we go.
Which one's this?
This is the Yaesu FT 65. Yaesu FT 65. Good.
Look at that.
Go, baby, go, go, go.
That's what you want to see.
How much radio?
That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna have to do a different setup. Yeah, looking good. Very good. All right, anyone else want to play radio roulette? We got one more.
Sometimes they use points that might something that doesn't ask for.
Norm, yeah, grab that.
There's a lot of very high.
Okay. You say it.
Baofeng UB6. I hope you're all taking notes. We're gonna have a pop quiz.
Used to fill the bottom of our market. We like it. We said the same thing.
I don't know if I like anything about South Bend's.
All right, now,
I mean, it's like
six.
we already know. Very nice. No, but it's. But I have, well, it does have to.
This radio's actually looking good. Fundamental is 48.
That's not my.
I'm sorry, the harmonic is 48 below the fundamental. That looks good. Are you gonna want to hand that back to?
Yeah, the other thing.
All right, last radio up. The Yaesu VX6 tri-band. It's the infamous tri-band here. Are we gonna have a problem? Play to bit.
I gotta go put some of the LCD with programmer. Yeah, I do it. I load it up with yeah, I still have to be able to like turn it on.
Here we go.
Oh, wow.
Looks like we got a little something growing there on the third harmonic.
So that's right.
Give that a minute to settle down.
Harmonic, that's 60.
That's not.
Well, the third harmonic is 56 dB down. It is also less than minus 16 dB, or greater than minus 16 dB. Yeah, so that also passes. Radio passes. Very good.
Yeah, we just gave one away at CVARC numbers. I donated one, they gave it away.
It's only minimal, it's a 2 meter.
Yeah.
Because they don't change the filter. It's still going through the 2 meter.
Nope.
They got on the 10 meters with single cycle, which is.
We got one more.
But it's sending the 5 watts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's only milliwatts.
If you get cold, for about 30 seconds.
It's fine.
All right. Last radio is a Vertex VX 150.
That's about the 9th last radio.
That's a new one.
Vertex, that is. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Vertex VX 150.
That's like.
That's the.
Yeah. And for a while, they were overlapping.
Yeah. Looking good, Norm.
But it's essentially.
All right, very good.
Crazy result.
All right, there you go. Yeah, nice.
Very nice. All right, do we have any questions for me that might or might not be able to answer? So again, the tiny essay and, you know, you can use it for many different things. This is just one of the uses. You can use it, you can put the little antenna that comes with it and walk around your house and check out all those, Chinese wall ones. See what's making noise. See if your refrigerator's making noise. See if your TV is making noise. Everything, yeah. Oh, the LG washers are brutal. All right, anything else? Anybody have any questions? You have another radio?
I can come back.
So he called there was the main, was the, and then the next one over, he called it the second harmonic.
That's the second harmonic.
Is there ever any such thing as the first harmonic?
Well, the first harmonic is the fundamental frequency, right? That's the main oscillator. That's what's coming out.
Yeah.
Right, so the first one is, that's the fundamental. And then the second harmonic, third harmonic, and it goes all the way up. Is that that?
Talk about yes, you've actually got. Yeah, the radio. Yes.
All right, just real quick, if you haven't gotten in on the raffle prizes, if you got a
Third of the way up the
G5RB antenna up here, you got a handy dandy SMA and coax and all sorts of adapters there. We have a donated tiny SA. Make sure you get in on that. So now you can go home and play with what we got here. And the grand prize is the Baofeng AR5RM with a programming cable, an antenna, an extra antenna, tri-band antenna.
Yes.
And it's already programmed with all the ACS frequencies for area. Yes.
It's a great big switch.
Yeah, you see the blue lines that are going down? When I set this up, I told it that my fundamental frequency was 146/20. And that I want to measure up harmonics, and I want to make each segment at 146/20. So that's what the blue lines are. And it does also give you the frequency, and you can't see it here, the frequency of each of the harmonics. Yes, so you can set up to 4 markers on the tiny essay itself. I think you can set up more in the program. Yeah. Well, that's probably the battery dies. Battery died.
Pretty high.
Yeah, it was looking good. All right, I've got nothing else. If you don't have any more questions for me, like I said, this was just kind of a lighthearted overview of what the tiny essay and the nano DNA can do. If you have any questions, see me after break. Thank you.
Anyway, that's a good. Do you want to stop sharing on your?
This on? Okay, I don't want to blast you out like last time. So before we take our break, James is here, and so he just wanted to bring something up.
I just wanted to, I wasn't at the beginning of the meeting, but I did bring an example for a project we're putting together. It's the infamous Slim Jim 2-meter antenna made out of 450 window line or ladder line. And then it'll connect to your radio with a 5-foot with a BNC on it, with an adapter on your radio. So I'd like to see if anybody's interested in doing such a project. It's very low cost, but it's relatively high gain. Really works a lot better than the built-in antennas that you have with your radios. And it can be rolled up and stuck in your pocket or in your, it's a good thing to have for Time around.
Everything's.
So say a couple hands there.
A lot of hands.
And then I'll usually follow up and say, who never raises their hand
There
first?
will be an announcement and hope to get that out. Check your email. We'll get that soon, but this is basically the thing works really good. They're looking at it, and not too hard to build. And it's cheap.
Thank you, James. Those build sessions are fun. Make sure you join. So let's